everyone, I'm Carol O'Halloran, and this is the show all about the fact that age is just a number. Over 50, so what? Now, when I'm out and about, I occasionally bump into some of the viewers, so if you see me, come and say hi. Recently, I met Edna at the Ski Expo and we had a great time taking selfies. Now, about 6 months ago, we spoke to Alan Stevens about profiling. Alan's worked with the Australian Federal Police, and today he's going to talk about some of the key things to look at in someone's face to give some insight into their personality and behaviour. And he's using me as a guinea pig. If you're new to the show, we have a great, fun, easy fitness segment after the break. Don't miss it. You'll have more energy for the rest of the day. And lastly today, we're going to have an overview of the myriad of activities you can do at a Great Getaways residential camp. You can do as little or as much as you want, and you can still make heaps of new friends. It's time to get motivated. Today we're going to take a look at another tool, profiling. We meet Alan Stevens. He's an international profiling and communications specialist. Alan is regularly seen in national TV, radio and the world press. He profiles leading politicians, TV and sports stars, even the British royalty. The Herald describes Alan as the mentalist meets Dr. Phil. Hi Alan, welcome back to Over 50 So What?
Thank you very much.
Now, I'm sure people at home are wanting to see in practice how this all works, and I did offer before we went on air for you to use me as a guinea pig so you could talk about my facial. You can't see my forehead, but yeah.
Well, that was enough. I've already got what I needed there.
I've got a lovely widow's peak there. So go for it.
Okay, well, when you just shifted your hair, then just the shape of the forehead. Some people have squarish foreheads. Yours is more arced like mine. And I'll explain some of these traits as we go so the people that are listening can actually go and have a look, because you and I have known each other for a period of time, and I could say about a lot of the traits, and you could say, oh, and people can listen to this, already knows that about Carol. But for them to be able to go and test it for themselves, where you've got the squarer forehead, and I'm talking about the turn of the forehead here, because up here will be rounded, but this section just up through the temple line on the side, those that have got the more squarish forehead, they like variety. They like to do things quickly. They like to start new projects and move on fast, then do something completely different. Those that got the more rounded here, like you and I, it's about being able to do long-term projects, to be able to do repetitive projects. Yes, we like a bit of variety, but we can handle those. But the ones with the squarish foreheads really struggle with it. We're orientated more around the family, around being around people. This is why you're such a great ambassador for people. Whereas with those that got the square, it's more about their career, their business. Then if I look at you, the shape of the eyebrows, those people where the eyebrows go up at a very striking angle, it's what I call dramatic appreciation. They have a natural ability to express themselves. Now, yours are a little bit more towards the horizontal, like mine. This is all about the aesthetic appreciation, how it feels inside. So I know that if you're working on something and you're really involved in it, the last thing I'd do is come up and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I need your help over here. I'd be first of all asking you, Carol, I can see what you're doing. You're very busy. You look like you're really involved in it. How much time I really need your help. How much time do you need to be able to get that to a level where you can leave it and come and help me? Would 5 or 10 minutes be okay? If you told me 10, I'd come back in 11 or 12. And I'd actually point out to you, I've given you extra time because I could see that it was really busy. But hey, if you come over and help me now with my problem, I guarantee you can get back to yours faster. Because if I dragged you over the first time, you might come over. I'll probably hear a little bit about it, but your mind wouldn't be on my project. It'd be on your project you were working on yourself. But now if I brought you, I've given you that respect, you're more likely to listen to and help me. But because I've also acknowledged it and said, hey, and also added the extra, hey, you might be able to get back to yours faster. We can get mine out of the way quickly. Do I have your support? I know that there's also a dry wit there. good sense of humor. And, all the conversations we've had, if I throw anything out, you've been very quick at being able to throw it back to me. I know that it's also about, you're adventurous. You like to try new things. And so travel and things like that are important to you. Now, the dry wit is in this the philtrum here. Those have got a very long area from the base of the nose to the top of the lip, that groove section, what we call the philtrum. The longer that is, the drier the wit the person has. The shorter it is, the more fussy they are about things. But as I say, every trait's got an upside and every trait's got a downside. Those with the short ones, they're fussy about things, the way they dress and everything else. But things have got to be very right when you present to them. But they make fantastic interior designers, people who look at something and say it's got to be done the right way. I guarantee they can walk into a room with white walls and straight away know what colour the wall should be, what furniture should be put in there, how it should be arranged. Whereas somebody like me who's got a really dry wit, I only appreciate it once it's all done. I can't see it in advance. So as I say, no right or wrong trait. Every trait has its place. The more you understand your own traits, you know what triggers you, you set your environment up so they don't trigger you.
That sounds good. I noticed that you've done some work with the Australian Federal Police and Disney.
Well, with Disney, it was Disney Films and Gillette who hired me in 2016 for their Star Wars Rogue One launch. Disney Films were using all the players to advertise their new Razor. They flew me to London to be interviewed by the world's press, 120 journalists they flew in from all over the world, to explain to them the stories the face tells before you utter a single word. Because Disney was all about, if you've got a beard, how do you groom it to change your appearance? How do you change your haircut? How do people perceive you differently? And Disney were talking about the clothing and everything else. So naturally enough, what does the face tell? So my job was for 3 hours to explain to the journalists in interviews how it works. I just spent the 3 hours profiling all of them one after another. With the Federal Police, it was some workshops on how to, first of all, understand personalities. And then secondly, to be able to recognize if somebody is telling them the truth or not. But it was mainly, the main reason, say for instance, you go undercover. It's a pretty dangerous environment to be in, because undercover, the criminals know how to read each other because that's how they survive. They have to learn from an early age. But if a policeman goes undercover, the end result is they're coming from a land of friendlies. Yes, the people around them have got guns, but they're on their side. And so now they're in a dangerous situation. So they've got to learn how to read the people they're around extremely fast.
Sounds really good. Now, if people watching today want to know more about their own profile and improve their communications with others, you've got some sort of profiling program they can get from you, is that right?
If they come to my website, they'll be able to look at some of the online courses they can do themselves. There's my master programs that I have, but there's also, they can get a profile done. And this is where when they fill the form out, it'll tell them how to take their photographs, send them through to me. I'll do that profile, do it as a full report.
Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks very much for the invitation.
Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50. So what?